Hello fellow potatoes, welcome to our new section of the channel and we'll name it Hyper Potatalk. Yep, so in this section I'll be discussing about the new set or just talk randomly various stuffs. So to start the first episode of Hyper Potatalk, I will discuss the new set which is Driven to Disorder, which will be released on February 23rd, 2018, which is next week. So yeah, I'm looking at the list from Buddy Spoiler. Be sure to check their website up. They have really a really decent and fast info about cards and informations about the set too. So this set will be a combined set from two of the Japanese set, the Thunder Empire set and the Autodeity set. So here we have the box topper information. Apparently this is not confirmed yet, so yeah, let's take it with a grain of salt first. And for the secret pack, there will be 6 types of secret pack. The first is Bud secret pack, we'll discuss it later. The Jackknife secret pack, and then the extra secret pack, which consists of the some triple rares, double rare in secret. I think the art will look awesome. And then the randomly inserted, either the Barbuds or the Jackknife. Then we have the Autodeity army. This one is the one people really look forward in this set. It's really super strong. And then the Plague secret pack, which is the Yesenius, the Grimoire deck. And then the extra secret pack B, which consists of the Chaos stuffs, the Doldra Golem, Ibuki Arabone, Infallible Blade Wall, Varicella. This is also a double rare, and either the Chaos Buds or the Yesenius. So, okay, we'll start from the archetype which people really look forward, the Autodeity army. Okay, the first card I'll talk about is, of course, this Autodeity Dragon Chaos Buds. This card is just really good. A size 3 with a status of 10 to 7. Its call cost is pay 2 gauge, and during your turn, this card can be destroyed, a typical Bud skill. And it has a counteract. Autodeity army call, you may pay 1 life and call an Autodeity army from your deck or hand to another area from this card by paying call cost. And it can only be activated once per turn. It also has the double tech. So this ability is really strong because you can call, it's a counter ability, so you can call monsters on your turn or your opponent's turn just by paying 1 life from your deck, and basically any Autodeity. And what really makes this card special is because the Autodeity you can call, there are various types of Autodeity you can call, but one of the best I think is this one, Chaos Pantar. Look at that Cyclops Pantar. Replenisher max mission. When this card enters the field, if there's another Autodeity army, which is Buds, you can put the top card of your deck into your gauge, gain 1 life and draw a card. This is basically a Dragon Emperor legend. So yeah, without paying any life, because you gain 1 life here, you can call this card directly from your deck and gain 1 free gauge and 1 free draw and 1 free monster. It also has critical of 2, which is not bad. But that's not all. If you really need something to defend yourself, another good target for Chaos Buds is this one, Chaos Tetra. It's a size 3 with power 5 to 5. When your opponent's card attacks, you can change it to this card. So you can put it on your right or left, so penetrate won't hit you. If there's another Autodeity army monster on your field, this card gets power plus 4000 and defense plus 4000. So basically this is redirecting attack cards to redirect it to himself, and it has a defense of 6 and 9000 just like Athora. Like, damn, this card is so good. And you can, what's good is you can call him during your opponent's turn with Chaos Bat skill. That's just so crazy. Okay, let's continue. Another target for bats. The first one is this card, Evil Sword Dragon, Demon's Chaos Sword Dragon. So yeah, this Saint Holy Sword Dragon evil form, the Chaosified form. By paying 1 gauge, when this card enters the field by a card effect, which is Bat skill, there's another Autodeity army on your field. For this turn, this card gets Penetrate and double attack. When this card attacks, you gain 1 life. So he's an 8/5 with double attack, Penetrate, and each time it attacks, you can gain 1 life. Yeah, it's good, but not that good. Okay, we'll continue to another card that Chaos Bats can call. It's this one, Special Attack Mech Chaos Delta. So 9, 2, 3. When this card attacks, if there's another Autodeity army on your field, you can charge 2 from the top of your deck. Yes, an ammunition for your Chaos Button Buster. Yes, this is basically a button buster for Chaos. Yeah, that's all. I think everything is the same. Pay 3 gauge, deal 5 damage, cannot be nullified, cannot be reduced, unrevivable. Okay, yep, that's all. So this deck is really good because Chaos Bats can basically utilize everything. He can call whatever you need. You will need to draw, heal, and gauge. You can just call Pentar. You need to defend yourself. You can call Tetra, or if you want attack, you can call Saint Glory or Delta. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. This one is also good. Cavalry Machine Chaos Kegelbite. This is a triple rare with power 7, critical of 2, defense of 7,000. When this card enters the field, if there is another Autodeity army on your field, put a soul from a card on your opponent's field into the drop zone and deal 1 damage, which is really good right now because a lot of decks are playing souls. If there's a card in this card's soul, this card gets critical +1 and penetrate. It also has a double attack and soul deck. Yep, it's good. A critical 3 with penetrate and double attack. Next up, something that really makes this deck even more stronger is this guy here. Look at that SP art, it's so sick. It's Genome Upgrader Gear Guard version 1000. Call cost, put the top card of your deck into this card's soul and pay 3 gauge. That's quite expensive. At the beginning of your attack phase, call up to 1 Chaos monster from your drop zone by paying its call cost. And Chaos Daryl Barrack, for example, is free. And it has an overkill. By discarding a card from your hand during your main phase, you can equip up to 1 Chaos item from your deck without equip cost and call up to 1 Chaos monster from your deck without call cost. And it also have Chaos Territory and Soul Guard. Why is this card so awesome? Is because by using his overkill, you can directly set up your field. You can call Chaos Bats, which can later on call some numerous Autodeity cards. And you can equip yourself with this Chaos Drago Royal. This card can attack even if there's a monster on its center. And when an Autodeity army monster enters the field, draw a card. This ability only activates once per turn. So yes, basically if you have this card equipped and you call Pentar, Chaos Pentar, you gain 1 gauge, 1 life, and 2 draw. How sick is that? That's just really good. And I see a lot of people in the Japanese Twitter. A lot of the Autodeity army is flooding the Twitter right now because the deck is so consistent, and yeah, you can mix it with old Chaos card like the Geargat 7, the secret one, and Daryl Barrack, Osiris, the Searcher. Oh, I forgot to mention, this one is also good. The new Nullifier. Awakening of the Black Autodeity. This card can only be cast during an attack on your opponent's turn. Cast cost, pay 1 gauge, nullify the attack, and put up to 1 size 3 or less Chaos monster from your drop zone into your hand. And if you have 2 or more Chaos on your field, this card can be nullified. So yeah, you can use this card to salvage your drop zone for cards like Chaos Pentar, Delberek, and some other Chaos monsters, so you can utilize their effect next turn. Okay, I think that's all for the Autodeity army. You can check more of their cards here. They still have some other good cards like this one, the Butsling for Autodeity army, and some other cards I won't be talking about. You can check them yourself. And next, the strongest deck right now, people say is the strongest deck right now, it's the Thunder Empire Fang. Okay, so Thunder Empire Fang has a secret pack here, the Bud secret pack, which consists of Babat's Drago Royal, X Junior, Cross Junior, Thunder Break, and Drago Rumble. So I'll show you guys the Balbat's Drago Royal. This is it, the card that hits the anime show 2 weeks ago with its Daigyakken or Overthrow. By paying 3 gauge and discard a card from your hand at the beginning of your attack phase, for this turn this card gets hextuple attack. And what's good about this card is after you use Overturn, you can still use Overthrow. Yeah, I think he's good, but he's just not that good enough. I think the old Buds has more play than this card, because this card is expensive and so conditional. I think people will probably run like 2 at max because he's just not that good. The other card that is really good for Thunder Empire Fang is actually these Buds. I've seen a lot of people playing these Buds in their deck from the Japanese Twitter. Awakened as Thunder Empire Buds. It's a 7/4 size 2. Call cost, put a Thunder Empire from your field into your drop zone. And during your turn, this card on the field cannot be destroyed. Counter, choose a card on your field and you may pay 1 gauge. If you do, stand the chosen card. Then if you have 4 life or less, you can stand this card too. You may only use this ability once per turn, and it also has double attack. So yeah, this card is just really good because by paying 1 gauge you can stand cards like the new Satsuki G, and if your life is 4 or less you can stand him too, or you can stand various cards like probably Globes, so you can attack with Globes, give the critical to Buds, and if your life is more than 4 you can just use his ability now, stand Globes again, attack with Globes to give Buds another critical, so it has a double attack with critical of 4. And I think it has more potential. Yeah, he's just a really good card. I saw a lot of people run 4 copies of him in the Thunder Empire deck. Next up is cards from with a Climax rare, the Red Thunder Emperor's Awakening. This is a spell. Put the top card of your deck into your gauge and gain 1 life. Then, if there are 3 or more different word names of cards in your drop zone, put up to 1 card from your drop zone into your hand. And if you have 6 or more, draw a card. Can only be used once per turn. Yeah, this is a really good utility card for Thunder Empire's Fang. 1 gauge, 1 life, 1 free salvage, and 1 draw. Just how good is that? This card is sick, it's really good. Yeah, you can take whatever from drop zone you need to kill your opponent lah. Next, these 2 cards have been, I see a lot of people play these 2. Kilo Bet, or I think the English name is Yellow Bet. When this card enters the field, you may discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Then if you have another dungeon enemy or Thunder Empire, you can draw a card. You can think this card can be a hand recycler, so wash your hand by discarding 1 and then draw 1 card. But exactly what's good about this card is because he's size 0 and he's also a dungeon world, and it can be comboed with this new Thunder Empire from Magic World. This one. Demon Lord's Deputy Vinea. Yes, I'm here. When this card gets discarded from hand, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. If there's a 7-2 Pillars or Thunder Empire on your field, you may return this card from your drop zone back to your hand. May only be activated once per turn. Yeah, so if you use Hero Bet and discard Vinea instead, Vinea will come back to your hand. You won't be having any minus. You draw one from Hero's Bet, and then you can charge one. Yep, that's one combo you can do with Vinea and Hero Bet. A lot of people are playing those two cards. And of course, the Satsuki G. This card is just really good. I think a lot of people play her more in Thunder Empire's Fang rather than the Satsuki deck, because it is a station card. So basically an item with defense. I think the card before that has an item that has a defense before is only Takosuke, and its defense is only 2000. So this card, Satsuki G, has a defense of 5000 and a critical of 3, and that's really good for Thunder Empire's Fang. When you station this card, put up to 2 cards from your drop zone into discard soul, and it has an overturn by discarding a card from your hand during attack phase. For this turn, notify all abilities of monster on your field, and for this attack phase, you can call Crew Trooper and Thunder Empire from your soul without paying its call cost. So, yeah, okay, I'll tell you the station cost first. Put the top 4 cards of your deck into discard soul and pay 3 gauge. So when you station this card, you will be having 6 soul, 4 from the top of your deck and 2 from your drop zone. And by using her overturn, you can call as many monsters from her soul to your field during your attack phase. So yeah, just hit hard. After attacks 3 with penetrate, you can call something from her soul, attack, call something again, attack, call something again, attack, call something again, attack, just like that. But I don't think a lot of people will use her overturn in Butts. What's a good card that can combo with her is this new nullify spell, Jupiter Barrier. You may only cast this card if you are being attacked. Counter, nullify the attack, then you may put a soul from a card on your field into drop zone, which is Satsuki Soul. I don't think the 4 cards that goes from the top of your deck will everything will be monsters, so some of the cards you might not need. You can just send it to your drop zone using this Jupiter Barrier. After you put a soul, if you do, put the top card of your deck into your gauge, gain 1 life and draw a card. Yes. After you play this, you won't be having any minus. You draw a new card, you gain 1 gauge and 1 life. Just how good is that? And okay, I see a lot of people also play the Shining Dragoner in Thunder Empire Fang, but let's talk about it later on. Next is the Asmodai, which goes from triple rare to secret rare in the English version. This card is good, but he's not just that good. Yeah, I think we'll play him because he's a Magic World card, so you can increase the number of worlds in your deck. When a 7-2 Pillars or Thunder Empire monster enters your field, choose a card on your opponent's field, and you may discard a card and destroy the chosen card. Overturn, pay 1 gauge during the attack phase. For this turn, give a monster on your field power plus 50,000 defense plus 10,000 critical plus 3 and penetrate and counter attack. So yeah, you can use this ability for offensive or defensive. And oh, too bad. It says give a monster. I think it can give Satsuki power and stuff. No, that will be too strong. Okay, that's for the Thunder Empire Fang. Now let's move on to one of my favorite deck, the Jackknife. The first card is, of course, this beauty, Shining Dragoner Jackknife. He's a size 2, of course, a Jackknife with power of 6000, critical 2, defense 6000. Call cost, put up to 1 card from your drop zone into discard soul and pay 1 gauge. I really like Jackknife with which call cost is by putting cards from drop zone into its soul, so you can like control whatever card you want to put into its soul. When this card deals damage to your opponent, destroy a monster on your opponent's field. and it has an overturn. During your opponent's turn, when your opponent uses a card other than an effect, put a card from this card soul into the drop zone and nullify that card. It also has Soul Guard. Okay, I have seen a lot of people asking whether you can use this overturn numerous times during your opponent's turn. That's wrong. You can only nullify once, and that's all. His overturn is seems a bit underwhelming, but if you use it at the right time, this will be a game changer. Because, for example, like when you face Athora, for example, and they only have 3 gauge, and when they call Athora by paying those 3 gauge, you nullify the call. So basically, they can't do anything else at that turn, and yeah, you can finish them next turn. Or for example, Levantine, if they wanna equip the Levantine and you nullify it, that most of the time it will be game over for them unless they have more Levantine, more gauge and stuff. So yeah, if you find the right time to play his overturn, it will be game changing. And he's a Thunder Empire, so a lot of people are using him in Thunder Empire too. Next up, the secret pack consists of these 4 cards and this new Jack Arms. But I think the star of the pack is this guy here, Star Dragoner Dimension E. It has a power of 1000, critical 1, defense 1. If you would call a Neo Dragon from your hand, its call cost is reduced by 1 gauge. So you can say this card is a substitute for Star Remnant, but the only drawback is he's a size 1, and if you call from your drop zone, you still need to pay the cost. And what's good is it has this Resonance of E skill. When a soul is put into your Neo Dragon, draw a card. This ability only activates once per turn and a soul guard. So yes, if you call Dimension E, then you call Shining Dragoner Jackknife. The call cost is put up to 1 card into Jackknife Soul, so yeah, you can draw a free card. This card is just really good because he's also a size 1, a Neo Dragon, so if you play the Style of Justice, you have this on your left or right. This card is just really good. Next up, the J Arsenal I was talking about. This is a Neo Dragon Arms, Jack Arms J Arsenal, size 1 for 1/1. If this card is in the soul of a card with Jackknife in its card name, that card gets move and penetrate. Apparently, Jackknife can only be moved using the sword, Providence, or what I forgot. Or there's also one Dragon Arms which can give moves, but he's a size 3, and that's really bad. But this card, it's a size 1, it gives move and also penetrate. And it has a skill of Armory of the Star Dragon. When an attack of a card with Jackknife in its card name with this card in its soul is nullified, for this turn that card gets double attack, and it can only be used once per turn. So yes, if your Jackknife's attack are being nullified, you can resend it up again. And this skill can go for the next turn too. I won't say this skill is that good because I don't see a lot of people playing nullifier attacks right now. So the focus of this card is the move and penetrate. Next is this Arms Bombur. You may only cast this card if you do not have a monster in your center. Cast cost per soul from a monster on your field into the drop zone, and destroy a card on your opponent's field. Yep, he's like the Darkness Dragon card. I think its name is Gale Destruction, but this one is for Star Dragon, which utilize a lot of souls. Yeah, it's good. Next is Sasuku's new Punisher, which I think will be showed during this week's episode. You may only cast this card if your opponent's life is 5 or less, neither you nor your opponent has a monster in the center. Put a card from the soul of a monster on your field to the drop zone and pay 3 gauge. Deal 5 damage, cannot be nullified, damage cannot be reduced, and unrevivable. This is basically also a button basta for Star Dragon World, especially for Jackknife, because you need both centers open, so I don't think this will see any play in Prism Dragons. Yeah, it's good. Next is the item. The new item that Tasku will use is this J-Star Ring. It's a new item with power 5000, critical of 2. When this card attacks, you may put a card from your hand to the soul of a new dragon on your field. If you do, put the top card of your deck into your gauge and draw 1 card. So, yeah, this is just super good. You attack with it, you put what is it called? Dragon Arms from your hand into Jackknife Soul, and then you can charge 1, draw 1. And this card seen a lot of play with Jackknife Kaiserion, where it can stand an item, and the item can gets a critical +1 and can attack again during the final phase. So yes, this card didn't say that its ability can only be used once per turn. So you can double charge and double draw in 1 turn if you play Jackknife Kaiserion. And if you add in like example Garbel Anchor or Triple Buster to your Jackknife Kaiserion Soul, you can nullify your opponent's shield or whatever it is. This card is really good with Jackknife Kaiserion. Okay, next up is, I already talked about Jupiter Barrier. This is also good in Jackknife, but I think it's better in Thunder Empire. And this card is also a Thunder Empire and Star Dragon card. Dragoner's Wing. A spell cast cost pay 1 gauge. Put a card from your drop zone into the soul of a Neo Dragon or Thunder Empire monster. And for this turn, it gets power plus 3000 and double attack. This card is good. And again, but not really good. Because you need to pay 1 gauge. But since Dimension E is reducing 1 gauge from the call cost of your Jackknife, you can use the 1 gauge for this card instead. Put a card from your drop zone into the soul. You can add in Dragon Arms and gives your Jackknife double attack. And power plus 3000 if you need it. Yep, as simple as that. I saw some people playing this card too in Thunder Empire Fang, and I think that's good. Okay, moving on from Jackknife, but we'll still be talking about Star Dragon cards, which is Athora support. Athora didn't get a lot of support in this set, but some of them are really decent. The first card is this Provenance Crystal Dragon Athora Adamant. A size 3 with power 8, critical 2, defense 8. So the call cost of this card is put this card on top of a size 3 Prism Dragon on your field and put the top card of your deck into this card's soul and pay 2 gauge. Only 2 gauge, and you need to call him on top of a size 3 Prism Dragon. Typical Athora skill, all cards on your field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you cannot be dealt damage by your opponent's card effect, and the bonus is damage dealt to your opponent by your card effects cannot be decreased. So even if your opponent, for example, Levantine, and it has Scarlet Bulk Replica which reduces damage by 1, the damages cannot be reduced because, yeah, this card skill. And it also has a counteract ability. During your opponent's turn, you can call this card from your hand by paying its call cost. Yeah, yes. When your Athora if your opponent attacks and your Athora wanna go, you can call him on top of your Athora and make it miss target. So in addition, after the attack miss target, you get a new monster with 2 souls in it. This card is just really good for defense. You can call him on top of your old Athora and it also has a double attack, soul guard, and counter attack. This card is just really good. Yes, I don't know what to say. This card is just good. And you can call him on your turn too. You don't always have to use the counter and call during your opponent's turn. If you really need it, you can call him on your turn too. And then the next card is the new item, which is Crystal Crescent Greaves. And I think this card is also really good. That's power 0, critical 0, defense of 5000. Put a Prism Dragon from your drop zone into discard soul, 1 gauge and 1 life. Yeah, you need to put a prism from your drop zone into discard soul because it has soul guard. Just how awesome is that? The abilities of your Prism Dragon on your center can be nullified. Typical, and they got a power plus 2000 and defense plus 2000. This ability can be nullified. At the beginning of your opponent's final phase, the old Crystal Greaves give you 2 gauge, but this one deals 2 damage to your opponent. So imagine you have Curse Guys in your field. Curse Guys can destroy 2 cards and deal 2 damage to your opponent. This card deals extra 2 damage, so that's already 4. If you like, for example, use this Radiant Shell or what, you can reduce your opponent's life more and then just finish them with an impact, Crystal Shoot, or the Diamond Overhead impact one. Yep, I think Athora Adamant and this Crystal Crescent Greaves will see plays in the new Athora deck. And then this card, Prism Order. This card is also a really good card. Can be used during your opponent's turn. Cast cost, discard a card from your hand, and counter, call a Prism Dragon monster from your drop zone by paying its call cost. Yes, if your Prism Dragon wanna die, or if it actually die, you can just Prism Order, call it back to the field, for example, Curse Guys, and when your opponents start their final phase, it can go boom boom, do a lot of stuff. You can also still impact because you have Prism Dragons in your center. Yep, this card will also see play in the new Athora deck. This card is just really good. So yeah, I think Athora only get 3 decent support, but all of them are really good. The Athora Adamant, the Crystal Crescent Greaves, and Prism Order. Okay, so I think that's quite long enough. That's the first episode of Hyper Potatalk, but there's still so many cards I haven't talked about. I will talk about that in next episode, so stay tuned, buddies. Hyper.